already started, so there you go.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, thank you. Right.
Am I recording this week?
No,
or are we
because
just gonna
I didn't like
rip
it. We'll just rip it off the video.
Why? Because that's professional.
You did a bad thing.
I can't mix it yet, so when I can mix it, I'll try again.
Right.
And I need your audio files.
Yep.
Do I sound okay?
Yes.
Yeah, you sound
perfect. Perfecto. Right. What I'll do, Jen, is I'm going to play the intro music, and then I will introduce myself and Jez. Once I've introduced Jez, the music is ended. You won't be able to hear it. And then I'll introduce you.
Okay.
Okay. And then we'll just go into it.
Okay.
Right.
It feels weird.
What
I've
feels?
only got Skype open. That's it. It's weird.
It's because you're weird.
Turn this off.
I don't want that there. Let me put that.
Oh, that's lighting.
Yeah, you need that. And
Hey.
that over there. Okay. Let me just get this out of the way now.
Nice.
Thank you. I am a sexy, sexy beast.
YouTube people are gonna love that.
I'm sorry, you never watch YouTube. They'll love it.
Professional YouTubers.
Professional YouTubers can say nice
It's really
things about
funny. You guys can't stop looking at yourselves.
Self?
It's
Yeah.
because I'm gorgeous.
You both keep doing it.
I'm looking at you guys. I'm looking
Yeah,
at
go
you.
around.
Well, technically now I'm looking at you guys.
This is not the camera that will be on the video.
No, I know.
But I am.
What do you mean looking at ourselves?
Right. Okay.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at the camera.
Yeah, don't do that.
If I'm looking at Henry, I'm looking over here.
Yeah, just don't look at the camera. Nobody needs to see that. Okay. I think I'm ready. Are you ready?
Nuts.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Are you ready, Jennifer?
I believe so.
All right. Sorry, Miss Fontaine. Right. I'm going to start playing the intro in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's more of a Shelbyville idea.
Hello and welcome to It's More of a Shelbyville podcast. I'm Jobby.
I am Jez.
Or Dobby, as instead of Jobby.
Jobby.
Yeah, sorry about that. We are joined tonight. We have a new guest. We have a new co-presenter. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello, this is Miss Fontaine, who will be joining us to talk about The Simpsons. Are you a big Simpsons fan?
Yay. I'm a little Simpsons fan.
Tonight we are talking about Season 1, Episode 4, There's No Disgrace Like Home. First aired 28th of January 1990. Homer discovers families can get along when the Simpsons attend the company picnic. Once again, an absolutely inadequate description of the episode.
Where are you getting these from?
That's the official tagline for the episode.
You need to write your own.
I know. Directed by Greg Vanzo, who, as most of them seem to have done, worked on The Simpsons and Futurama. He's also the co-founder of the animation studio Rough Draft, co-founded with Kent Butterworth, the other writer of tonight's episode. He created the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon.
Cool.
And he also worked on An American Tail, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Fern Gully 2, that needed to happen, The Ren and Stimpy Show, and Rugrats.
Wow.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yep.
Nice.
It was written by a writing team, Al Jean and Mike Reese, TV writers. They went on to create the animated show The Critic. Now, nearly everybody, all the writers I've mentioned so far in the series, also went on to work on The Critic. It seems like a really incestuous family, this whole animation business. Right. And the pair of them also helped co-write the Simpsons movie, which is not that impressive because there was about 12 of them.
Yeah, it seems there's so many people
Yes.
working on the Simpsons TV, especially in these early series.
Right, to launch things off, Jez,
Mhm.
your
Yes.
one-word description. Is it going to be one word this week?
No.
No, of course it's not.
Okay, so I've written down a shocking performance.
That's terrible.
Boom.
Get out. Thank you very much. We're done.
I even wrote a little XD next to it.
Why is it shocking? I know why it's
Because
shocking,
because in the episode, and that's an amazing joke, one of the best jokes in the whole series of The Simpsons. the whole scene there is brilliant. Plus, I mean, it kind of admits to a shocking performance, like with Marge, his performance
Yeah, we'll
in
get
the
to
early
that.
part of that. Yeah, and I thought this episode was quite good, so I gave it a strangely good description with a couple words. There you go.
Go on then, Baps.
So, you're not going to believe this, but my one word to describe this episode is shocking.
Oh,
For exactly the same reason of what Jeremy gave it.
yes.
Okay. Well,
Is that not only is it half of it's shockingly bad, and then the other half has the best. That has the best joke in the whole of the Simpsons series. It is the,
that's a big
so-
claim.
Yeah,
It is the best joke.
it is one of them, definitely.
So,
Oof, where are we going then?
my word is not shocking.
No,
Because
oh,
that's
shocking.
Far too obvious. I'm not going to go with the crowd. Classic.
Okay.
This felt like a proper. I mean, apart from the problems, and
Yeah.
I'll get into that this episode had. This felt like a proper Simpsons episode. You had the whole family there, and it was a proper piece of
I
animation.
definitely,
It was
yeah. I
good.
think we're getting into some of the good ones now.
Well,
Hopefully,
yeah, hopefully.
don't want to jinx it, but this was definitely. I do agree. It definitely felt like a decent episode, and definitely felt proper. And they're starting to hit there.
Lots of
Mark.
first appearances this week.
Well, a few.
Oh, I saw lots. Go on, what have you got?
I've got on my list. I have Eddie and Lou with the first ones.
Yep.
Then we have Eddie and Lou, the police officers. Then we have Marvin Monroe.
Dr. Marvin Monroe.
Dr. Marvin Monroe. I do apologize. And Itchy and Scratchy.
Yes, the first Itchy and Scratchy cartoon.
Yes, that's what I on this. Did you catch anyone else? I mean, I got Burns Manor, but that's the place.
That counts. I wrote that down. Burns Manor first appearance.
Burns Manor, then. There's the one.
No, I think that's it.
He says release the hounds. That's the first line.
That's yeah. He says release sounds first Simpson. No, I think that's
yeah,
it.
that's all I've got for that. But
Family.
yeah, there's some good characters there. I mean, like Eddie and Lou. I mean, they seemed there. I mean, they were a bit janky. Their animations were a bit off, but they seemed there.
Did you notice
They're not as
Go on,
they're
sorry.
not as thick as they become in the series.
No.
They're not as well, especially Lou.
Well, Lou's the black one, the African American one.
Right,
And
yes, Eddie. Then.
he's actually I find quite intelligent in the later series. But
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the one who always comes up with the solution.
yeah. Did you notice what has become a common animation problem with this series is that Eddie's blonde.
Is he?
Yep, and he shouldn't be.
Well, he was blonde.
No,
I mean, he just has line hair, doesn't he?
no, he's not blonde. And Barney was blonde
So-
again.
Yeah, I was just about
Yeah,
to say.
Barney,
So is
Barney's
Barney.
always blonde.
Yeah, yeah, that was. So
However-
did Jess before. It never occurred to me that the Simpsons kids are blonde.
No.
That's just their head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I always got that they definitely had their hair and it was definitely blonde, but it didn't trigger until going back to
This bit,
see
yeah.
that and say they're actually blonde.
Quick synopsis.
Although, hang on, before you do that, I
Yeah.
have to say as well, they fixed an animation error from the last episode.
What was that?
Smithers
Yes.
is no longer African American, and he is now, well, I suppose yellow.
He's
They fixed it.
he's proper flesh toned yellow now.
Mm-hmm.
Caucasian yellow, sorry.
Yes.
So, in this episode, Homer becomes ashamed of his family after a catastrophic company picnic. It wasn't that bad. And decides to enroll them all in therapy, but Dr. Marvin Monroe struggles to solve their problems and eventually gives up and refunds their payment.
Mhm.
That's a fair synopsis. synopsis.
Yeah.
Even
I do like that. The fact that they end up earning money in the end.
so. This episode it was very funny. I laughed out loud, but it had some big problems. Anyone else agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah, the first half of it.
the whole first half of the episode?
Yeah. Yeah.
There was definitely some problems with the picnic that need to be addressed. I mean, there were some funny bits of the picnic I did enjoy, but then there was that whole middle section where they were sneaking around that did not need to be in the episode. That was completely redundant, and I didn't like it. It wasn't funny, it wasn't entertaining, it was a bit weird, to be honest.
Well, I'll jump to one of the trivia on this. I think neatly wraps it up is that the episode has got telltale signs of being one of the very first ever produced, because the characters are closer to how they are in the Tracy Ullman shorts than they are in later episodes. Like Lisa's a lot more like Bart.
Yeah.
She's a handful. Yeah. She's playing around. Marge gets drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, they make a big thing of it that she doesn't drink a lot in the later episodes.
Yeah.
And she's inattentive. She abandons Maggie. She wouldn't just dump Maggie in a daycare without a very good reason. And Homer was actually the reasonable one.
Yeah, he's the smart, sensible, family-oriented one, which is complete, counter to his character development in the later series.
Absolutely.
Complete counter.
Yeah, very strange. I mean, I know, and again, it wasn't, I remember this episode from way back when, but it wasn't until watching it again that it actually occurred to me that they are acting so different.
Yeah, I mean, even in the episode, what did we watch? The one where Bart's a genius.
Bart the genius.
Homer, yeah. The fact that they go to the opera and Marge is the one who's trying to keep them all tied up, and she's getting annoyed, but they're all making silly faces. That's even 2 episodes ago or an episode ago, they were the complete opposite of what they are now.
Absolutely.
Which is a bit odd, given that we're going further along the series.
I don't know.
Negative counter.
I don't know. I kind of felt it was more of a Freaky Friday in which that Homer and Marge had switched. It's like Homer was worried that he was going to lose the job, so they kind of switched, and Marge was like, "Yeah, screw it."
Intention.
We didn't mention the chalkboard gag.
Yeah, I got that down, which is, I think, seems more of a Homer tagline, but I will not burp in class.
Again, it's a chalkboard gag that's not really very funny.
Same as the couch gag, though, as well.
Yeah,
I mean, that one, I see that in the first series they're trying to do a bit of foreshadowing as well with the couch gag, because the Bart one was Bart leaving the couch,
I suppose,
and then
yeah.
the last one was them falling apart, and then this one, I mean, it's Homer's the smart one, sensible one, and he's the one who falls off.
Yeah, I don't think they...
I think we need a bit more.
I still don't think by this point they'd realised that it was going to be iconic of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And start making a better job of it, because they're boring. I'll say it, they're boring at the moment.
They are very
I want better couch gags.
Because some of them, the one that I still stand by, the one where it turns into the circus. That's the pretty one. The one where it does the whole scene. It goes.
One of the really long ones.
Yeah, with the elephants on in it.
Yep.
And it's huge and explosive, and it's great.
When they were eating dinner, and Homer's the one says, "Right, come on, we're going to sit round the table."
Yeah.
And they goes, "Right, ready, steady, shovel."
Mm-hmm.
I eat like that.
Yeah, but Homer should eat like that.
Yes, I know. Homer. Yeah, I know.
That's so wrong. He should. Maybe once, if he was worried about not being religious, would he say grace? But apart from that, no, there you go. He wouldn't say grace either.
No.
But the little piggy noises they made every time was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds very accurate.
Homer was moaning at the kids when at the picnic, because they were running around and messing in the fountain and everything. Now, was I the only person that I thought they're just acting like normal kids?
There was some bit.
They're not even acting like cartoon kids. They're just acting like normal kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I suppose it's supposed to, because it's a cartoon, it amplifies the.
I know, but even then, that's what I mean. Even with the cartoon TV amplification, they still just come across as regular kids.
But it amplifies how good everyone else's kids, not how bad their kids are. So it's like it makes Homer seem ludicrous for wanting to be like a normal family when they're a normal family, but everybody else is an extremely good family or extremely tight. family.
But when you go to your boss's picnic, everybody is on their ultra best behaviour,
Yeah,
and they weren't.
I suppose.
Yeah,
We need to talk about Drunk Marge as well.
mhm.
Yeah, Drunk Marge. We love Drunk Marge.
I did put Drunk Marge.
Mhm.
I don't remember. Can you either remember another episode where
Yes.
Marge was actually drunk?
The only other episode I know of is the one where she drinks the Long Island iced teas. And
Is
she
that the
gets
one-
the neckerchief.
I don't remember that one.
There's the one where she goes out. There's the Thelma and Louise one, where she goes out and gets drunk with the next door neighbour chick.
Oh yes, the divorcee from next door.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's that one too. There's the okay. So there's that one, and then there's definitely
Isn't
the
there
one.
a Christmas one as well where she gets Homer really irritates her and she's drunk and she's telling him. Can't remember.
But I definitely know there's the one with the Long Island iced teas, and there is the one where she gets drunk with the next door neighbor. I know that one.
It's so out of place for her though.
This
Yeah,
early on, yeah.
Just in general, in ever. And the fact she just kind of, let's put Maggie in here, and they turn the TV on, let's babysitter, click, put Happy Little Elves on.
Well, yeah, I think actually it's not so much the fact that she gets drunk; it's the fact that how and what she does when she is drunk.
I
and how she
suppose,
acts.
yeah,
It's like
dancing
'cause
around
usually,
and singing
like
John
I see-
Sinatra or whatever it was.
the I'll refer back to this episode. The one where she drinks the Long Island iced teas. She just keeps drinking them because she doesn't realize she's getting drunk off them because they don't taste like alcohol.
Right.
So she just keeps drinking them, and she just ends up drunk. And it's quite amusing because she's not doing anything completely outlandish. But that's sort of how I imagine Marge getting drunk instead of drinking to forget and then going mental and
Dancing on the tables and stuff.
yeah, really immature.
Did you notice, when they're leaving Burns Manor, and there's that really perfect family just before them?
Mhm.
That family is sat in Dr. Munro's waiting room.
It is them.
It is them.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Maybe
Maybe that was a
little nod towards
Easter egg.
everyone not being perfect.
hmm
Oh, and while we're talking about Marvin Rowe, I want a therapy mallet.
Or you just hit people,
Yeah,
hit each other.
that would I would find that exceedingly therapeutic.
Although I agree, taking the foam pads off is way more satisfying.
No stranglings. There was almost a strangling.
Oh, yeah, almost. I wrote
It
that down.
was
That was so
very,
close.
very close.
You could tell he was going in for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Maybe
gonna-
that was again. This wouldn't have been the first episode, but like you said, it was one of the very earliest ones.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was like the second or third one when we had seen a strangling, and it would have gone on to be, we would have known he would have been strangled, but it wouldn't actually strangle him.
And still no dolls.
No, I don't. I still stand by that. The first one we saw did have dolls in, but everyone since then hasn't.
Has anybody watched it recently? If anybody's listening to this, go and watch the episode for us because we're lazy, and let us know if there's any dolls in it.
Oh, I've seen him.
See, I don't think there is. And I'm surprised that this early, even at this early in the series, in the show, that we've not had a single one yet, because it is so iconic of Homer.
Yeah. Oh, we had a don't have a cow man.
First time Bart uses "Don't Have a Cow, Man."
He also said wubba lubba dub. Thanks for the grub.
Oh, that's the same Grace, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. He says, I swear he says that before. Those are some of the, if you look on the most iconic Bart phrases, I don't know if they're said again, but definitely wubba lubba dub. Thanks for the grub and don't have a cow man are definitely in that. And for Rick and Morty fans, I'm pretty sure wubba lubba dub would be a precursor for wubba lubba dub dub, which you guys won't get, but Rick and Morty fans will.
Ooh, you guys go and get it. What is
No,
it?
you won't.
I've heard of that. That's popular with idiots, isn't it?
Hipster.
So, Dr. Marvin Monroe's, the whole scene, the whole bit.
Yeah. from the minute they go into his office, or not even his office, they're just the waiting area. From the minute the show ends, is brilliant. Best half of Simpsons we've seen so far.
Do you think the average family, if strapped into those machines, would just start randomly shocking everyone?
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, that would be so fun.
I would totally shock Jess.
Yep.
I'll be honest now.
I would just roll my head across that, and even if I shocked myself, it would be worth it.
Yeah. Can you imagine my sisters and I in there with my mum and dad? Totally.
I would pay money.
We would
to see
literally have our hands on them.
that. I would pay money to see that.
Yeah.
Mhm. We didn't pay
Definitely.
money to watch this one.
I was a little surprised when Homer went to pawn the TV that he managed to get $150
Yeah.
for it.
Well, I mean, the TV itself that he went to pawn, and I do like that as one of my favorite jokes in the episode as well. I was like, can we not just pawn my engagement ring? No,
That's-
we're
We
getting
need
enough
a
of
whole
that.
150.
That's another
Yeah.
thing that the Marge would never do that.
Yeah, well,
Not no, what?
yeah, no, she would.
She
No.
would.
It
I
would
mean,
be
she
the
would-
TV, then her engagement ring.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dunno.
Yeah.
Maybe because Homer never did it in this episode. Theories arising. Character
Conspiracy
progression.
theory.
I did have to have a little laugh when he said that they were going to get a 21-inch widescreen TV.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Oh, I missed
too.
that. I didn't even.
At
notice
the
that.
end, he said,
Yeah.
"No." He
Yeah.
said, "I'm not going to that rubbishy old TV. I'm going to get a 21-inch widescreen
Yeah,
TV." And I thought,
With
like,
My computer monitor's bigger than that.
Yeah.
full natural range color paletting and whatnot.
With a 20-button remote control.
Something like that, yeah. I do love the fact that they got $500 for shocking each other. That kind of sums it up, really.
It's in the trivia. I'm wasting all my trivia before we even get to it. But
Right.
when they're all sat in the chairs and they're getting shocked,
Mhm.
and they're that wibbly wobbly, that's actually their original animation.
Really?
Yes.
What, that style, they would be wibbly wobbly?
Yeah.
Wow. That would have been really disorientating.
Yeah.
It would have been a unique style.
Have you
but
not
then
seen the
they were
original?
yellow. You saying it again? You're going to say it again?
Oh no, you've not
Oh,
seen the original
hang on.
Tracy Ullman shorts
Why did my camera go off? There we go.
because the internet is offended by your face.
Oh. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, but that's the original drawings. Apparently, I remember them shaking a lot like that because it was a really
in the
weird,
shorts,
Yeah, it was
they
a
are
really
bit
weird
shaky, yeah.
animation style in the shorts.
Mm.
So anything else leapt out at you? About this episode?
Oh, there's a funny one where they said, I can't remember the whole joke, but it was about our house. They went up to Homer went up and he said like poor saps, they can't even blah 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 or something, and he's looking in the window and he knocks on the door and he says Homer, and Marge says Homer, this is our house.
Oh yeah, this dub, but they're standard. I've just
Yeah.
crushed all this guy's flowers.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of excellent moments, but I'm saving that for my favorite part of the episode.
Oh yeah.
one bit that I stands out is it's Flanders. It's not actually Flanders, but it's Flanders in the pawn shop. So
his voice?
it's his voice, yeah.
Ah.
But it's not changed at all. It is Flanders. I was just expecting him to go, like diddly squiddly or something, and like, yeah.
That's an interesting point because when Flanders was on the screen, he was Ken Brockman.
Yes, but this goes
So
back
they
to,
must have switched the voices or something.
This is a.
When was Flanders on the screen then?
The first episode, he
Yeah,
was
so when he was
there.
Okay, yeah.
But he was just Ken Brockman's voice. He was exactly like it. It was weird.
This goes back to when we watched Bart the Genius, and you had Edna Krabappel, and her voice actor was also playing another teacher. And they didn't try to change the voice. It was exactly the same voice for two different characters. And I think that goes to, in the initial things, they hadn't really thought about fleshing out the secondary characters particularly well. So they were just using the same voice. They weren't even trying.
Oh no, I think in that one, because you've got the two teachers, but one's like the crappy school that they used to go to, and then one's the posh school. I think that they purposely made it so that it was the same sounding teacher.
Yeah, I think I
We did
did say
mention that,
we
yeah.
did mention that there could be a deliberate choice to contrast the two schools.
But
Yeah.
I also agree with you that so it's like the pawn shop guy. They were never going to see pawn shop guy, so they just used any old voice. It was never, and as you say, Flanders has only been seen a little tiny bit,
Once,
so they
yeah,
hadn't
so far.
they hadn't really fleshed out who was going to do his voice, what he was going to sound like, or any of that.
Well, they put it on Instagram last week. In last week's episode, there was an African American guy standing on top of the Homer's car talking to the crowd.
Oh yeah, that was
And
Flanders.
it was a slightly rougher drawn African American Flanders.
Yeah,
Right.
with an
It was very
afro and a
strange.
fuzzy
He
beard.
had the voice, but it was the same voice actor.
Yeah.
Right.
But the early days.
I've pretty much said all the trivia already, but I've got a few bits.
Go on.
This was the first episode that the BBC aired in November of 1996. Yeah, they didn't. They showed the entire first series completely out of order for reasons.
Well, given that it was already out of order, I mean, I suppose they couldn't have done me more damage.
This is the first episode that Maggie smiles in.
Oh man, I was going to say that one. I
And
think. Do you know when she smiles?
I don't. Do you know? I skipped back
Is it
through.
during the shock scene?
I think it might.
Oh, it
be.
might be. Yeah, it is.
Does
Because
she take her dummy out and then she takes her dummy out, smiles, and then
keeps
pokes the
smacking
button?
Yeah,
That's what I would do.
must be.
This episode famously features in a movie. Do either
The
of you
shock
know which
scene.
movie?
Is the shock scene in the movie? Let me see. Oh. I'm thinking that it's on TV somewhere in a movie.
Yes, yeah, it's someone's watching it.
Yeah, but it's
no.
not just a reference. It's
No.
it's just there. I don't know why I've got a hunch of Space Jam, but I'm going with
No,
Space
it's definitely not Space Jam.
Jam.
Babs,
No, I don't know. I remember it being on, but I don't know what it is.
do you want me to tell you?
This is
Yeah.
a famous episode.
It's Die Hard 2.
Ah. Oh, I did not know that.
No, I ran out of time. I don't know where in Die Hard 2. I'm going to go find out and see if I can find a screenshot of it and I'll slap it on Instagram later in the week. But yeah, it's famously known for being in Die Hard 2.
Is
Which
that kind
came
of a
out-
celebrity appearance?
Well, that's quite close because Die Hard 2 was released in 1990.
Oh,
Yeah, summer 1990. I think it was summer autumn 1990, and this episode had only aired January 1990.
wow, that got big quickly.
Well, that's it. That's all the trivia I've got because I've already spoken about most of it. Anyone else?
No. Oh, Eric Stefani.
Eric Stefani. We said he wasn't in the last one, or he had nothing to do with it, but
No.
I caught him just right at the last minute in the.
This one, yeah.
I'm gonna check and see how long he actually worked on
Yeah.
the system.
We got to keep a track of Stefani throughout the series.
That's I can't remember her name. Gwen Stefani's brother.
Yes.
I still want a therapy mallet. So, we'll go with Baps this time.
Yeah.
What was your favourite joke or moment of the whole thing?
Oh, it's the electric shock scene. It's when he says, and he's losing control, and they just keep going. And he's like, that's not, he's losing it, and he's actually losing it at them, and they're actually really enjoying it and finding it really useful.
They're actually getting therapy from it.
I was very tempted to put that moment down, but I figured one of you two would pick it as well. But it is the highlight of the episode.
That is such a famous scene. I'm pretty sure I've seen it in other places as well.
It was inspired by a Laurel and Hardy sketch.
Was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
except they're using, I think it's custard pies instead. So go on then.
I have the Simpsons on. My one. A couple scenes. I'll say a couple scenes I like, not my funniest ones. I've got One of Us, which is the bit where they're all turned into, where they're angels in the other family, angels in the car, and then the Simpsons, the demons in the car. One of us. You're one of us, Homer. And that was good. Then there was another weird scene which I actually quite enjoyed, but it was completely random. I know, because Burns was in it the episode earlier, but when they're doing the shock scene, the fact that it switches to just Burns and they're saying like, "Oh, there's a lot of consumption that's good," and he starts talking about economical powers and stuff, and it was quite amusing. But I definitely think the best joke was the ring one, which said, "I'll pawn my ring," and Homer says, we won't get anything for that.
See, I didn't like that just because it's so not Marge.
I think because of what we were talking about last week, this episode I maybe saw with different eyes. Tried to view it as if I was viewing it from the first time,
right,
and taking myself completely out of viewing all of Simpsons. And I viewed it as just an episode as a whole. And from the beginning, this episode would have been good, and it would have been very
I suppose if you
decent, and it would have captured the audience very early on because it's quite an amusing episode.
I suppose, especially if this was the first one shown in the UK, that
Yeah.
this, you wouldn't know that that's not what they're like, so you would just go ha 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 cartoon and move on to the next episode.
One of my other favourite jokes is when they're sitting at the table, and he's and I can't remember what Homer says, and then Marge turned and said, "Well, maybe we should move to a larger community."
Oh yeah.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. I
can't remember what the feed line was.
We're the worst family here, or something. I said, well, maybe we should move to a larger community.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a good one.
I couldn't decide between. There's two what I think are fairly clever jokes that genuinely made me laugh. Homer, in the very beginning of the episode, Homer disturbs Bart and Lisa fighting. And they're like, "Oh, no, I love it. No, you love it." Oh. And then he comes and goes,
"Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're fighting over who loves me more."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, you love him more. No, you love him more." That
is a good one too.
There's that
Forgot
one.
about that.
And just before they're about to go into the picnic, Homer leans down to them. He's like, he's just watched this other family, or I think they'll be coming out of the picnic. He's just watched the other family, and they're all loving it. And he leans down and goes, "Oh, why can't I just have a little bit of love and respect from you guys?" And Bart leans over and he goes, "Well, I'm choosing respect."
Yeah.
It's like you can only have one child. I'm not going to love him.
That was a good one too.
So what if, right, those are our favourite moments.
Mm-hmm.
What is your least favourite moment from this episode?
Ooh. I'll start because I've got it. The bit where they look through and they're saying, I like the bit where they're looking through the window at the old man and is like, "Oh, I hear something outside," and it's them, but they think he's saying, "Oh, they're such a lovely family" and whatnot. And then he pulls out the shotgun.
He goes, "Fetch my gun." Oh, look, he's fetching his pipe and slippers.
that one, I don't know. It's just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why. I didn't like it. Yeah. Okay. It wasn't amusing, and it was a bit. Again, that's that whole section where I wasn't fond of, where they were just snooping around, looking at people's.
It's a bit
weird. And it's weird, and it didn't need to happen. Just more scenes of them acting as a normal family, but not really a normal family, would have been good.
Yeah. But I don't know. I've put down my least favourite bit was the sack race. I didn't.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't really particularly find it funny. I mean, yeah, at the end I find it funny because Homer is racing to stop Bart beating Mr. Burns, but it was too obvious. It was like, it would have been way funnier if they'd played it out and Bart had beat Mr. Burns.
Yeah,
and
then have Homer panic.
Yeah, and then see how, have Mr. Burns reacting in a certain way and whatever. But then that would have been a different episode.
I suppose it's. I know Mr. Burns was introduced. He's already been introduced before. This is not his first appearance, but there's still character building with him. There's still drawing him as this evil, egotistical
Although they're pretty sure they
Yeah, they
already
kinda,
nailed him.
They kind of nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in this one, he's pretty nailed as well. But I think that the whole Bart winning would put... That's one of the things that I've always hold on to when writing sitcoms. I've always heard that as a good lesson, that you write your characters... You get your characters in... It's a... I can't remember... What's the word I'm looking for? There's just a random event. It's over my head. It begins with a C. It's a coincidences. You write your characters into accidents via coincidences. You don't write them out of accidents with coincidences.
Right. They have to work their way out of it.
Yeah, mistakes or problems. They have to. Yeah, you have to work your way out of it instead of writing your way out of it. Whereas you write your way into it. If that makes sense. It's a really, really convoluted thing. That's not the best way it's been said, but I said it that way.
I'm sure it's been said better, yes.
Yes. Anyway, that's my point, is the fact that if Bart had won the race, then that would have been worked for a better story, because it would have gotten them all into more trouble. Whereas it wouldn't have, Homer stopping Bart from doing it serves no purpose. It is completely redundant. So it does make the whole sack race redundant, like you say.
Yeah. Well, I've already said it. My least favourite moment in this episode is Drunk Marge. It's not fun. It's. I know it gives Homer something else to worry about, but it doesn't fit the character. It's not that funny. Yeah.
What? I love Drunk Marge.
No, I like Drunk.
She even does singing.
I like Drunk Marge in the later episodes.
Yeah.
But in this one, it just didn't. It didn't feel right.
I
didn't like it.
I think, like I say, I looked at it from a different perspective, and I think Drunk Marge in this episode wasn't the worst thing. There was another thing actually, which also irritated me, was the fact that Homer got depressed again. Or he's so light on getting depression in this one. Like, it might be some sort of like his repressed dad repression or something. Like he got his family too early on or something. I don't know what they were trying to go for this character, but he's like saying, "Oh, I can't drown. I won't find the source of my problems at the end of a bottle." And then, I mean, he does get himself back up again.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. He's always in this one, Moe's seems to be like a place where he drinks his life away. Which, I mean, yeah, it is that, but it becomes more of a social gathering, and it's sort of like just more of a dad thing to go and have fun.
I noticed that there was a lot more people in Moe's than there usually is.
Yeah, and the fact that he had a fight with Barney was good. I did like that.
It wasn't even a fight. Barney just beat his ass.
Yeah, Barney just kicked his ass.
Well, my MVP for this episode is Dr. Marvin Monroe, just for the voice.
Yeah, he has got a good voice.
He's great. I take it that was yours as well, then.
Yeah, I'm going to change mine. Babs, you go.
Mine, my most valued player is Marge.
I thought that.
It's drunk singing Marge was hilarious. I didn't think that there was enough of that. In fact, that would have been way more fun if they just chopped out the stupid the race and then just had Marge making a complete fool of herself. Although I did find it hilarious when they're coming out and they did the angels going off, and then he looks at the car and then these like little demons are like talking to Homer. And I just thought, do you know what? Knowing Homer and knowing what he gets up to throughout the rest of the series and episodes, that is just deserves.
He
deserves everything he gets. He gets everything, man.
Well, it's almost like it's the opposite way around now, sort of, because this is
it's
before
bizarro Simpsons.
That everybody else gets their just desserts because Homer turns into an arsehole.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. I was gonna go with Dr. Marvin Monroe.
No, it's mine
because he was pretty epic, but I think I'll go with. Oh, it was between Marvin Monroe and Marge. That was the thing.
So
those are
your
my
first
two
and
characters.
second answer. Come on, let's put him on the spot.
Chosen by.
Who's your favourite and why?
I don't want to go with Homer because that's too obvious.
You can go with Homer.
Nah. It wasn't that good. Actually, yeah, I got the most laughs out of Homer, so I'll go with Homer.
I'm categorically not going to go with Homer.
And
Except when I do.
without Homer, they wouldn't have gone to the shock place anyway.
This is true, but
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
although I do think Bart had the most catchy one-liners.
But he always does. That's part of his character.
True.
So, if you had to grade it, what would you grade it? Or do you want me to go first?
No, you go last.
Oh, okay.
I'll go with a solid
You're supposed to
66 out of 100.
Okay.
And 10.
66 out of 110.
110 volts.
Yeah, 110 volts. 66.
I'm never going to let him forget this, but Jeremy once rated an episode 4,500 out of 1,000.
Yeah, I did that once. Promise you wouldn't tell.
All right, Baps, if you're going to rate this episode, what rating would you give it?
Right, okay, so the whole episode I've written down gets a solid 6 out of 10.
Okay, well, that's very,
But the shocking scene gets 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, yeah, but quite a lot of the rest of the episode drags it right down. So if I could just have 20 minutes of them shocking each other, that would have been hilarious. Yeah.
Well, I'm voting with the crowd here. Is that I give that one 7 out of 9 gelatin desserts.
Nice.
Because I think it's a great episode. You get to see the entire family. It's not like the previous ones where it's Homer centric or it's Bart centric. This is the whole family. They're funny. The shocking scene probably dragged it up by a whole dessert. So we've gone from 6 to 7. I also agree. If it was just 20 minutes of them shocking and shouting at each other, just a therapy session episode, that would be brilliant.
Or if they could do like flashbacks and stuff, that's a great idea for an episode.
Well, they've done that before, like clip shows where they've gone back and they've hosted by Troy McClure.
Yeah, I think less of like clip ones or dream sequence ones, more of sort of ones where they all have therapy and they all talk about each other.
Yeah. You mean the behind the scenes ones?
Sort of, yeah.
I like those. The ones where they do the documentaries and it's like they're all actors and they're talking about each other and how they hate each other and one's an alcoholic and stuff. Yeah, I love those.
Yeah,
I would like to see them redo the shocking scene, but with the characters as they've developed now.
Right.
So Homer would be just like have his finger pressed down on Bart's, and Marge would, I wouldn't want to touch anyone.
Oh, tell you what, that would be an amazing idea for an episode. We're just going off on a tangent now. But an amazing idea for an episode would be have them go back and revisit several of the really old and really like obscure or counter episodes to what they are now. So like their characters now would go back and reenact those episodes.
Yeah.
So you'd have like 4 episodes within the episode. Just
right.
4 scenes or something from the episode. So like the shocking scene would be a good example, and like I don't know the Christmas one if they did it with the characters now, and I don't know. I think that would be great.
Does anybody know the name of next week's episode?
Is this the Lisa one?
I know. I'm genuinely asking. I forgot to make a note of it.
Great professionalism at its finest.
That is us.
I believe it's Lisa's. It's like Lisa's Depression or something. Season 1, Simpsons. Here we go. Nope, it's Bart the General.
Bart the General. So we've had another Bart-centric episode. Now, I thought this was the one about the military academy, but it's not.
That's the next one, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's not. I don't know. I don't even think that's in this series.
Oh,
anyway.
No, it's not. You're right. No.
Anyway. Well, thank you very much. I think we've all broadly agreed that we enjoyed this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that last week's episode is my favourite of the series so far. But this is the shock scene was definitely my favourite scene.
Definitely the favourite scene. This one was the funniest one.
Yes.
Last one was the best story. Well, then again, saying that, the first one's a pretty good story too.
You do love that first one, don't you?
It's warm and homely, and it's like the only one I remember from the first series, or first 3 series.
Okay. Well, any final thoughts, anyone?
No.
No.
I did note down, like, having watched a million Simpsons episode and watched this a million times, I did notice for the first time ever that when in the opening credits and Lisa is playing in the band, that there is a huge piece of music paper on the back wall.
Right.
I never noticed that before.
Huge piece of music paper.
Yeah, there's like a music score.
I'm going to grab a screenshot of that.
You know what? It would be massively impressive if that was the score for the opening theme.
It doesn't have any music on it. It's just score paper.
Yeah.
And I think, it's like, I don't know whether you guys did, but when you had a music room, you had the blackboard and then you had a board that had...
It had the lines on it.
Music paper on it, and I think that's what it is.
Right.
But I never ever noticed it before, ever.
I suppose you're always focused
now that
on...
I've mentioned it, I'm thinking that possibly it changes every
definitely.
time. And it might be like a poster, or it might be something different.
I see what you mean. So that was another thing to look out for.
Yeah,
because I never noticed it. And I always, whenever they zap Maggie as well on the
different
market,
prices.
It's always something different, but I can never see what it is.
Yeah, it always goes by really quick.
I always know that the magazine that that Marge is reading at the checkout, the headline changes. It's not consistent. It doesn't always change.
Isn't it always got like Homer's face on it though?
No. It's different. It goes in blocks.
Yeah.
You get 3 or 4 episodes where it's the same, and then it will change to something else.
Speaking of the opening credits as well, another thing I didn't notice, in the band there are 2 Lewises.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a Lewis behind Lisa, and then there's a Lewis on the behind the what's the music man's name? Engelbert Humperdinck or something.
Mr. Dewey or something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, there's a Lewis there playing the cymbals or something, and then there's a Lewis playing the recorder or something on the other side. But we did say that Lewis does get duplicated.
Lewis is a stock character. He appears quite regularly in places.
But it's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks for listening. You can follow us on social media, as I tell you every week. You can catch us on Instagram. Just look for More of a Shelbyville podcast with underscores instead of spaces. We're also on Twitter under 742. Or you can check us out online at, if you're not watching it already, I don't know how, on www.shelbyvillepodcast.wordpress.com. On Wednesday, our YouTube behind-the-scenes video will be posted, so follow us for that. So thank you very much, Baps.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Baps.
We'll see if we can get you back again in the future.
Yes.
And we will catch you all next time. Bye!
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's more of a Shelbyville idea. Woohoo!
Ay, caramba!
I'll teach you to laugh! Someone broke the toilet! All good.
Hey. Oh.
Awesome power.
How
Jeremy,
long did that one last?
Your mic kept breaking up.
It did.
lot.
You kept
Did it?
frogging. Blah, blah, blah. Yep.
Oh, that would be the internet.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I don't know, but Henry's kept doing it as well.
Yeah, I think it's just because we've got 3 of us on
There's
Skype.
3 of us. It's 3 of us on Skype. I don't even think it's the internet. It's just shitty Skype.
Yeah.
Well, we've had problems with this before.
Well, yeah, we abandoned an episode, didn't we?
Yeah, we did it the day after. It turned out
It was
best.
fine. It was fine. We have been recording for 48
50 minutes.
48 minutes so far.
Oh, we've been on Skype call for 50 minutes. Sorry. 48 minutes. Oh, that means that's a lot to edit. Because we did not record that much in the beginning.
I'm laughing because he edits it.
What are you looking at? We're over here, numbnuts.
Not on the video, you're not.
Over here we are.
Don't
Look at the camera.
Don't forget, yes, but that's not the cat. That's that one there.
Mhm.
In this corner right here, is not the main one that everyone else sees. They see this bit right here.
Yeah, but we're not recording, are we?
Yep.
You said we weren't.
No, I didn't say that. All right, guys, I am going to stop recording. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers and bye.
Bye.
Bye.